If you blinked, you might have missed it. The All-American Rejects rolled into Fayetteville tonight for a surprise show that fans only had a few hours to prepare for. The venue, not your average concert hall, unless you're used to rocking out next to disco balls and rental skates. 5 News photojournalist Luke Patrick was there for their pop-up show and somehow managed to grab the band for a quick chat.
We're seeing All-American Rejects!
It was the band's dirty little secret. They didn't give fans much notice, but when the All-American Rejects say house party, they mean it.
Taking our little pop-up house tour to the Heartland here tonight.
Just a few hours before showtime, the band finally dropped the location of its Arkansas spot, the Starlight Stadium in Fayetteville.
We're at Starlight Skatery here, Starlight Skate Arena, Starlight Skatium.
As soon as the post went up online, the line outside started forming fast, stretching through side streets and packed with thousands of rockers.
Well, I grew up with older sisters, and so she always introduced me to them, and I always listened to them in the car. And so just kind of getting to relive out my childhood is just really awesome.
Ready to scream every word of It Gives You Hell like it was 2008 all over again.
I wake up every evening with a big smile on my face, and it never seems out of place. And you're still probably working.
And right now tonight we're going to be eye level with 1,000 people that were happy enough to stand in line just to be able to get free access to music.
It's part of the band's 2025 House Party Tour, a string of secret shows in small, offbeat venues across the country.
The one thing that we all agree on is I like music, and to not have access to that, to be in this sort of suppressed state, like we're just trying to show people that there's another way to get to the music.
Sadly, it ends tonight. Now it's time for the band to move along to where the band isn't saying.
This is an unprecedented thing for these pop-up shows.
But for Arkansas fans lucky enough to catch the show, it was anything but a swing and a miss.
Wasn't that just so cool? I'm going to have dirty little secrets stuck in my head the rest of the night. Well, here's a live look over the Fayetteville Square. Turning now to the forecast. 5 News meteorologist Stephen Elmore is in the 5 News Weather Center. Stephen, do you have a favorite All-American Rejects song you could share with the class?
Oh, it's hard to pick. There's so many good ones,
right.
But I tell you what, it is pretty awesome that they have those secret shows, and we got selected as one of those areas. I got to see one of those shows. Awesome that Luke Patrick was able to get that content for us. All right, comfortable out there this evening, right? Only those mid to upper 70s for most of us. Had those spotty showers really all weekend long, and we had a few of those pop-up thunderstorms for today, but because of that, ended up being pretty comfortable outside across the River Valley this evening. Those upper 70s, low 80s is what it feels like out there right now. But you take a look at current radar out there this evening, not much of that activity still left. Most of it south of I-40, but still one of those pop-up showers there in Washington County. You can see right there on the county line between Benton and Washington, just south of Salem Springs. One of those quick showers, not too much to be worried about. Across the River Valley, pretty quiet for most of us. Spotty shower moving into parts of Logan County, just outside of LaFleur County. Got some heavy rainfall as well. Take a look at Futurecast the rest of the night tonight. Any activity mainly going to be south of I-40 for us. We wake up tomorrow morning. Could see some of those showers continue into the early morning hours for the most part. But our Monday, we have more of those rain chances in the forecast later this week. It is going to get hot and steamy outside. We'll talk about it in the full forecast.
All right, thanks, Stephen. A blue alert is still active in Oklahoma and Texas for a man accused of being part of a shooting last week at an ICE facility in Texas. The FBI is looking for Benjamin Song. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says there's no credible information that Song is in Oklahoma, but they say the alert is out for your safety. Song is considered armed and dangerous, and anyone with information should contact the FBI. The double homicide trial of 27-year-old Cooper Wesley will resume in Crawford County tomorrow. Wesley is accused of killing his father, 57-year-old Terry Burchell, and Donald Lewis in 2023. On Friday, jury listened to testimony from more than a dozen witnesses called up by the prosecution. But the prosecution has presented conflicting information on the timeline of the events, specifically related to the time Wesley stole a gun and when the murders happened. Wesley claims he was in a drug-induced state during the time of the murders. If convicted, Wesley could face life in prison. The aftermath of the July 4th floods in South Texas continues to impact thousands, with more than 160 people still unaccounted for. Tonight, 5 News reporter Claire Everbach shows us how a local organization is bringing supplies and hope to those in need.
A lot of people that are missing, a lot of debris that needs to be removed.
Nearly 2 weeks after the July 4th South Texas floods, the community is still heavily feeling the impact. Sheepdog Impact Assistance, headquartered in Rogers, is stepping in to help.
We've got canned goods, we've got pet food, we have a lot of supplies, a lot of water, that kind of thing. You know, but most of the stuff that is not around when a disaster like this happens.
This morning, the organization sent 4 vehicles and 3 trailers down to Liberty Hill, Texas, filled with essential items, and even Girl Scout cookies.
I mean, come on, who doesn't want some Girl Scout cookies, right?
Sheepdog first responder Rafi Morales says they had no trouble receiving donations for supplies.
All we got to do is send out a message and the community responds.
And the support goes both ways.
The community knows that anytime that there's a natural disaster, regardless of where it is, we're going to go, and they help a lot.
Will Finch joined the Sheepdog team as a volunteer a few months ago and says he is ready to lend a hand.
Hopefully impacting the people that are in Texas and allowing us to give any kind of help and assistance that we can and maybe make their days better.
Morales says this kind of dedication drives the whole team.
When something like this happens, it's the heart, it's the mission, the drive that we want to go and help.
And in addition to supplies, their trip holds a deeper meaning.
I mean, if we're bringing anything, it's hope to everybody that's been affected.
Covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
As Texas continues to recover from the floods, more flood warnings were issued today as the region dealt with heavy rainfall. More than half a foot of rain fell in the last 24 hours. Search and rescue efforts were suspended because of the weather threat. Over 12,000 volunteers have stepped up to help just this last week. The National Weather Service called on residents to move to higher ground and avoid driving through floodwaters. A new federal tax rule could change how some gamblers report their winnings and losses. It's part of President Trump's big, beautiful bill, and while most casual players won't be affected, one Arkansas casino says they're still paying close attention to how this could impact a small group of their customers and betting on legislation to get it reversed.
Bet Saracen is the 13th largest online sportsbook in the United States. Each year, they take in over $300 million in wagers.
Do we take large bets? Yeah. We've had people bet hundreds of thousands of dollars on a given game. But the key here is our tens of thousands of active users every month are what I would consider casual, low-dollar recreational bettors.
But starting in 2026, a new tax rule from the Big Beautiful Bill will cut into gamblers' ability to write off their losses. Under the law, they'll only be able to deduct 90% of their losses, up to the amount they win. That's a change from the previous rule, which allowed a full 100% deduction. Carlton Safa, Chief Market Officer at Saracen Casino Resort, says this new rule won't deal a bad hand to most of their users.
If you're the kind of guy that makes a bet, a couple of bets on Sunday on the NFL and a couple of bets on Saturday on college, the likelihood of this having any real tax implication on you is basically zero.
In fact, Safa says only a dozen or so players at their casino would likely feel the impact.
And that represents a fraction of our bets. So the bottom line is, this is not ruinous on the industry. It's probably going to affect a handful of bettors in Arkansas. But despite it all, we care about that handful of bettors.
Still, the casino isn't just folding on this. They're throwing their support behind a new bill from Representative Dina Titus of Nevada, a member of the Congressional Gaming Caucus.
They are our customers and some of our most important customers. And it's with that vein, I will tell you, we do support Representative Titus's legislation, which is currently headed to the Ways and Means Committee in Congress, which would restore the deductions to 100%.
As for lottery winners, state officials say it's rare for lottery winners to claim losses against their winnings. As a result, this shouldn't have an impact on players. That new rule goes into effect on January 1st.